West Coast Weather Pirate K7JLE, Jared and Pasco checking in with you on Monday, December 22nd. We're looking at visible satellite with a composite radar overlay here of the Pacific Northwest, and you can see some showers moving in there on the Olympic Peninsula. Pretty strong southwesterly flow cutting across this way, bringing us some clouds in eastern Washington. Look like some fog formations there this morning around Hanford and up into Moses Lake and other parts of the northern Columbia Basin. All right, first full official day of winter here on the 22nd. You can see here sunrise in Pasco 7:37 a.m., sunset 4:14 p.m. And you can see that the the sunsets continue to get later just by a minute or two over the next couple weeks, or the next week or two. And then you can also see that the sunrise also gets later, but we are adding time. Okay, adding a few maybe seconds or a minute or so to each day. But look at that sunrise out of 123 degrees in the southeast. That's pretty far down, considering in the summertime we get it more in the northeast. All right, let's take a look at temperatures around the basin. 43 degrees in Kennewick, 46 in Walla Walla, 44 in Dayton. Moving up a little bit farther, 34 degrees in Wenatchee, 32 degrees in Grand Coulee, probably still under the fog influence there, 35 degrees in Spokane. And look at the wind here off the Washington coast. Really strong southerly winds headed toward this low pressure center just off the northern tip of Vancouver Island. Taking a look at the METARs here in the Tri-Cities Airport in Pasco. We've got broken clouds at 10,000 feet, variable wind at 5 knots. Surface winds are pretty calm here in the Columbia Basin. Now I wanted to show you real quickly the barometric pressure at my weather station at my house here. I've got 30 inches, 0.11, and you can see it's falling. It's been falling since about 10 o'clock this morning as that low there off of the Vancouver Island gets a little bit closer. Let's check in with Pendleton. Special weather statement from the Pendleton National Weather Service office calling for 5 to 7 inches above 2,000 to 3,000 feet tonight in the eastern Washington Cascades, places like Roslyn, Easton, probably Ellensburg, but maybe not. Also, eastern Oregon Cascades, places like Camp Sherman, Lapine, Sisters, and Sun River, also 2 to 5 inches there. Taking a look at webcams if you're doing traveling today across the Cascades. Snoqualmie Pass looks good. Probably get some snow tonight, but looking at bare and slushy conditions up there. Over here on the east side at Umatilla at I-84 Cabbage Hill, bare and dry. Looking pretty nice there if you're headed down toward places like Boise or other locations south and east of the Columbia Basin. But if you're looking for more adventure, check out Oregon 204. If you want a winter drive, look at this, Oregon 204 at Spout Springs. Okay, pack your chains and pack your winter weather gear if you're headed up that way. All right, extended forecast. Here we go. This is right now. Today you can see that low over the northern tip of Vancouver Island that's pulling some of those surface winds really strong on the coast of Washington and Oregon. But here in the Columbia Basin, it's pretty calm. All right, let's set that in motion and just see what happens. All right, that's going to trail off a bit, and then we can see this low coming up here from the south over the next day or so. It's going to impact California there and then head up our way around Christmas Eve. All right, and that low might track right over Puget Sound there on Christmas Eve, around midday on Christmas Eve, and then that low from Vancouver Island sweeps down and then comes back up our way on Christmas Day. Okay, so those are surface winds, but if we back it up real quick and we take a look at winds aloft at, let's say, 14,000 feet, 600 millibars. Up too far, there we go. 600 millibars, now we can see why we have that strong southwesterly flow coming off of the Gulf of Alaska. That's why temperatures are probably a little bit cool, and sweeping down around and making that bend around that low off the northern tip of Vancouver Island. And if we set that in motion and we see what happens here with the jet stream and everything else, you can see that low coming up from California, bringing that atmospheric river, okay, hitting California and then eventually probably impacting us as well, but nothing like what we've been seeing in the past few weeks, hopefully. Anyway, there's Christmas Eve night. There's your Santa forecast. Okay, Santa better bring his windshield wipers. All right, and then there is early Christmas morning. All right, still probably seeing some strong winds aloft, but again, if we put that back down to surface winds, I don't see this being a major wind event like we've had recently here in the Columbia Basin. All right, that's it for today. K7JLE, West Coast Weather Pirate. Thanks for checking in.